And welcome everybody, it's Module 5, Day 3. Forums, awesome or time suck? Now, first of all, to recap this week, we are flicking the switch from passive to active. We're taking our first baby steps with getting involved in our marketplace. So, I want to give you some guidelines today on how to take baby steps into forums, because forums can be a bit of a minefield. You know, you've probably all participated in forums and you can see how they can blow up very easily, and some people can be very unforgiving of new people in the forum. So I want to give you a way of just dipping your toe in the water so that you can start to build up a bit of a profile, even if you have very little clue at the moment about the particular topic. There's some very specific things that you can do. And then finally, I'm going to show you how I use forums, and unsurprisingly, you're going to see that I do that on the iPhone. Okay, so rule 1 when it comes to forums: please don't be a bonehead. I can't tell you how many times I've seen on forums where somebody just bursts in, rule 1, which is just remember, they burst into a forum and they ask a question which is covered in the FAQs, or they just expect the world. It just drives me crazy. It's like the forum has been invented for this person, and I see it so many times. Or, people just wade in, or even worse again, people just wade in and say something along the lines of, hey, just check out my website. It's just bad. So please don't be a bonehead. Just do it the right way and you'll be fine. Otherwise you will literally get killed in the forum. And, the corollary to that is it's not about you, right? You want to be there to help people. You want to learn. You're an enthusiast. You're a beginner. You should not be ashamed of that. You should embrace that. And that is what's so important. So how do we take baby steps? How do we do our first things? I showed you yesterday in Twitter, adding "that's cool" to a statement. You may not have thought that was a big deal, but let me tell you, and please, you don't have to use "that's cool." You can use any phrase. But you've started a chain of events. Once you take your first active commentary, you are on your way to market leadership. So, what's the first post that you can do on a forum? The best one there is. If you read a forum post that's interesting or informative, just say thank you. Just literally hit that reply button on the forum and say thanks for that. That was really interesting. Really appreciate it. And make sure, anytime you see something that's really good, say, oh, thanks, I did not know that. Just use your own words. Don't use my words. Use your words. But say thanks. Have some manners. It's a wonderful way to just dip your toes in the water, get over the fear of hitting that reply button, but at least you make your first little steps. And people love it too. People love, and you'll start to get, as you do this, people start to recognize you. Your post count won't be 1 anymore. It'll slowly increase up, and you'll slowly start to find and get your feet, and you've moved from passive to active. So a thank you is a great way to do it. Big issue with forums is you can really truly lose your life to a forum. And what I mean is you can get addicted to the forums. And we see it time and time and time and time again. Please make sure you work the whole thing to a timer. Never, ever, ever spend more than 20 minutes looking at a forum. 30 minutes tops. Just don't, because it is just, it'll be they're wonderful bits of information. When you look at it scientifically, you contribute, you're in, you're out. But if you just spend your whole day in a forum interacting, it's very addictive. And trust me, I've been there. I know what it's like, as you'll see soon. But it's not, it's not going to make you money. It's not going to create a business for you being a professional in a forum. You do not want to be that. I despair when I see people saying, I've just made my 5,000th post on the forum. That's sad. That should have been 5,000. If it was 5,000 posts on your blog, I would be so impressed, and you'd be a market leader if you'd made that many posts on a blog. So just remember that why you're there, okay? And use a timer. Be disciplined about it. One of the best things you can use, and another way to go active with the forum without actually having to post on the forum, is to point out a debate that's going on in the forum and give your opinion on your blog or in your Posterous network. It's a wonderful opportunity for content inspiration. So make sure you use that Evernote, use Simplenote, use whatever you're using, but to take down the details and the link to the forum post so you can add a link into your post. People often ask me, should I send a link back to the people? Of course you should. You should always credit your sources. Google's not going to punish you for that. They expect to see it. So, don't be afraid to link to the source of your inspiration for an article. You should do it. You should credit your sources. But you can use that debate as inspiration, and I think that's a brilliant way of doing it. And it's a great content source, and it's another way of using the forums to go active. Now, of course, if you get the opportunity in a forum and it allows you in your profile to include a URL, then make sure you put your URL in there so that you've got another link. But that's a byproduct. That's a nice aside. It's not the reason you're in forums. You're in forums for market leadership. Now, don't discuss. To me, there are some wonderful third rail topics on any forum that I'd really, personally, not engage in on any forum. Sometimes you'll see, if you're on a Like a Camera forum, and trust me, Like a Camera forums they're hardcore. There's some very, very angry old men in those forums. As soon as the discussion goes from Like a Camera to somebody mentions something even vaguely political, oh my gosh, it kicks off. Please don't do that. If you've got a political opinion, fine. Feel free to debate it on a political website in your spare time. But it's not what you should be practicing in online business. Any sort of viewpoint that, religion, politics, and all that, and some people say, I should be able to speak my mind about what I believe in. That's fine. Absolutely. Do it in the right spot. Not while you're trying to create a business, because you will alienate as many people. Look, I'm all for alienating people in business. I do it all the time, but deliberately. I only want to have customers that I like. And so I will, deliberately, write a certain way or do a certain thing. But that's a market decision. Having, people instantly turn off you because of your politics or your religion or your views on a controversial subject is crazy. That doesn't seem to me to be smart. That is cutting your nose to spite your face. So, in my view, please don't do that. Don't make sure. And of course, the other is not to get, I'm all for a good debate. And while you're debating stuff, and when you can tell when things have gone from debate to personal attack, and it'll happen in forums. Remember I talked about trolls. You'll put up a post and, somebody will have a go at you. Try not to engage or just try to neutralize, or don't take it personally. It's just an anonymous person who thinks they're a big person because they can post things anonymously. Trust me, when you front these people in real life, it's hilarious. It is truly hilarious. They're lions on a forum, and in real life, they are, it's a joke. So just don't engage in that sort of stuff. Remember why you're there. Understand that trolls are a part of forums, and just deal with it that way. When you're looking at participating in a forum, participate in a forum for the love of participating in it. Don't expect anything. Don't think, I'm going to sell products to this forum, because you'll get killed. Right? People smell that a mile off. Just truly expect nothing, and your forum experience will be so much better and so much more rewarding. You'll learn about the market, you'll contribute, you'll help build your tribe, you'll help build your leadership network, you'll help do a whole bunch of things. But please, like with all these market leadership activities, understand that they're market leadership activities to make you a market leader, which, incidentally, will make you a lot of money over the long term. But it's not these activities. If you try pimp stuff here, well, that's what all you're doing. You're pimping. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to do it. Just don't make that mistake. It's a rookie error. Don't do it. My final piece of advice is, as I've said all throughout this market leadership series, the greatest leaders are the greatest servants. So if you can be, the best way to get a great reputation in a forum is to be helpful. Help people out where you can. Jump on opportunities to help. Because that is the best way to build a great forum reputation, which will mean that people go, I wonder what that Ed Dale is. I wonder if he uses a wonder if he's got a blog. Wonder if he's got something, and they'll go and check that out, and then they'll sign up to your mail list, and then they'll buy stuff from you, and so on and so forth. So being a servant is a great way to start out. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I use forums, and I bet you'll be shocked to learn that because this is a market leadership skill, that I do it on the iPhone and my iPad, because I'd much rather spend 5 minutes when I'm in a line, or if you're on a lunch break, then rather than dedicate 2 hours of your night when you're giving up such wonderful programs as Top Chef and X Factor. I'd much rather you be focused. If you're going to sacrifice not seeing those shows, then at the very least do stuff that's physically working on your business. Surfing forums at that time of night is not doing that, so I much prefer to do stuff on the phone. Let me show you. I use an application called TapperTalk to access my forums, and like so many wonderful applications on the iPhone, it actually makes the whole forum experience even better than what you would experience when you are using the forum actually online. And you can see here my 3 favourite forums that I go into a lot. Obviously, there's the good old challenge forum. Now, hopefully, you're familiar with that. But let's start off with that one, because I suppose you guys are familiar with it. And what's cool is I can click log in here, and I just tap and log into the forum. And look at this, it automatically pops up with the latest unread topics. And there's a few there, and I can literally just scroll through here. What a time saver that I can go and have a look and see what interesting. So there's an interesting article. I can go in and see and look at the layout of this. It's beautiful. So I can go and have a look at this, read it, see what people are saying. And if I want to comment, I just tap the little comment arrow up the top here, and I can reply. I can subscribe to that thread, so TapperTalk keeps a track of what's going on in that particular thread, so I don't have to keep going back to see if somebody's responded, which is awesome. And, I can just tap reply, and off I go to the races. It even easily adds an image, so it's such a time saver compared to, tracking through the forum. You can go back through your normal, forum. I suppose, you can look at it in your more regular ways, but look how fast and active and quick, all of this is. And it's just fantastic. There's an Android person on this forum. No, look, I encourage that. Of course, you can do similar. I'm sure there must be a similar application to TapperTalk. You might want to add it on the forum. So you can look. It's fantastic. Oh, cool. There we are talking about Persona. So this is feedback. So do you see how much easier this is? And Caro would definitely want me to point out that there is a search function. So if I put Persona and hit search, you might notice, of course, that look at that. Oh my goodness. All the posting on Persona. So you can literally search from your iPhone. And the brilliant thing about all of this is it's all, I just find this incredibly more efficient than actually using the site itself, because it's on my phone. If I've got 5 minutes, I can literally just jump in there. And again, if we just back out here, we just keep tapping, we back out, and we can continue going into different areas. And I can quickly go and see what all the cranky old blokes on Leica are doing, and I can log in, go and check, and it works really nicely and quickly, and it keeps me up to date because it shows up instantly all of the unread stuff that I've got there, which is fantastic. So I can do that, or if I like, I can just click on the forum button, and I can go by category, and I can international user, because there's obviously the German forum, digital forum there, and I can go in and see what the latest is on the Leica, and I can contribute here because I know about the Leica because I've been here, which is fantastic, and there's so many fascinating and interesting, justifying the 0.95 Noctilux, good luck. And you can go in there and have a look. See how cool this is, how easy it is? That's, again, why I'm so bullish on the iPhone in particular and smartphones in general is because, so many of you have got day jobs. One of the reasons you're doing the challenge is because, you want a plan B. You want to eventually have the choice of deciding what you want to do. And so for me, having the smartphone, in particular an iPhone or an iPad, or both preferably, just gives you massive flexibility. So if you've got a coffee break, you actually can be working on your business, doing market leadership in the 10 minutes and really do something constructive. And then when you're in front of your computer, that's when you spend your time really focusing on the core work, the backlinking, the article writing, the stuff that really requires really intense focus. So there you have it. There is my examples for you, and that's how I look at forums, and I hope that's been really useful. So your activity today is really simple, is go onto the forum, find some forums, make sure you're logged in as per last week, and we showed you all of that in the last module, and have a read of some posts and thank somebody for a great post. And that is a perfect way to start. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed this. We'll speak soon.